everyone. Today I am presenting my paper on influence of bulk of resin, trial closure and bench curing on vertical dimension of occlusion after denture processing. First, I would like to introduce my topic. As you all know, accurate vertical dimension and stable occlusal scheme play an important role to maintain the normal function. Among the various factors responsible for change in vertical dimension of occlusion after denture processing, the bulk of resin in the mold at the time of packing, effect of trial closure and bench curing time in the processing after final closure have a very important role in the normal laboratory condition. The aim of my study was to check the effect of varying the amount of resin the mold at the time of packing on the change in vertical dimension of occlusion and the effect of trial closure on change in vertical dimension of occlusion, and to assess the effect of bench curing on change in vertical dimension of occlusion after denture processing. These are the armamentarium used in my study. Methodology. First, maxillary and the mandibular edentulous stone cast were obtained from the standard edentulous mold. After that, the record base of uniform thickness were fabricated on both these master casts. To maintain the uniform thickness of the record basis, thermoplastic resin sheet of 2 mm was adapted over it. Then the temporary denture base were converted into a permanent denture base by using the conventional compression molding technique. After that, the occlusion beam was fabricated using the pink base plate bags, and articulation was done using the class 1 maxillomandibular relationship. Before proceeding with the teeth arrangement, the horizontal condylar angle was locked at 30 degree, Bennett angle at 15 degree, and incisal guidance angle at 5 degree. After that, the acrylic resin denture teeth were then arranged in conventional balanced occlusion, and 2 reference lines were marked on the upper and lower member of the articulator. And the digital vernier caliper was used to measure the initial vertical dimension of occlusion with master and maxillary and the mandibular trial denture in place with vertical dimension incisal pin contacting the incisor table. Then the remounting jig was fabricated on the lower member of the articulator. For this, the putty index of the upper maxillary trial denture was made by covering the 2 mm incisor surfaces of the anterior teeth and occlusal surfaces of the posterior teeth. And then putty index was converted into the clear acrylic index. Then the remounting jig was fabricated. For this, the mandibular trial denture with the ring was removed from the articulator, and the another ring was attached to the lower member of the articulator. A disposable glass was attached to the lower ring of the articulator, and the die stone was poured in the glass. After that, the clear acrylic index was placed on the maxillary trial denture, and the upper member of the articulator was closed to sit on the setting die stone to support the acrylic index. This complete setup was considered as the mounting jig. After that, the vertical dimension of occlusion was again evaluated with the digital vernier caliper using the same reference lines and kept same as the initial vertical dimension. Thus, this vertical dimension obtained was considered as pre-polymerization vertical dimension. Then the maxillary and to reproduce the maxillary replicated trial denture samples, the maxillary dentulous silicone mold was obtained from the master maxillary trial denture along with the cast by using the silicone duplicating material. After that, the acrylic teeth of same mold size as used for the master trial denture was placed in the maxillary dentulous silicone mold, and the molten wax was poured, and the edentulous cast was seated in the mold, and the complete setup was removed along with the cast from the mold after the 2 hours of the setting. Then the measurement of initial vertical dimension was done, which is considered as pre-polymerization vertical dimension. Then the samples were divided into groups and subgroups. Three groups were samples were divided into 3 groups: Group A, Group B, and Group C. Group A is again divided into 3 subgroups: A1, A2, and A3. And Group B is again divided into 2 subgroups: B1 and B2, and Group C is again divided into C1 and C2. The measurement and the calculation was done. It was observed that the difference in the vertical dimension post-polymerization and initial pre-polymerization was referred to as change in the vertical dimension and the incisor pin opening. It was observed that varying the amount of resin in the mold at the time of packing, that is increasing 26 grams of the powder and decreasing 18 grams of the powder, The amount of resin from the optimum, that was 22 grams, did not cause the significant difference in vertical dimension of occlusion. The reason this could be attributed to the fact that only the amount of the polymer was varied, but the monomer to polymer ratio was not varied from the recommended by the manufacturer, which is the main cause of linear displacement of T. Then the trial closure during the packing significantly lowered the value of change in vertical dimension after processing as compared to packing done without the trial closure. Reason was, when the trial closure is done and the flask is closed with the reasonable speed and under the controlled pressure, it enables suitable resin flow into all the parts of the mold and hence minimizes the movement of the artificial teeth and corresponding change in the vertical dimension. Then the significantly lower mean value was observed in the sample with the bench cure for 1 hour before processing. Reason was, this could be explained on the basis that the plastic mass is low as compared in movement under the pressure, and if it is processed too early, then they may result in the internal stresses in the structure which are not released in short bench curing time for 1 hour. These internal stresses could be relieved if the flask is allowed to stand for some time. Finally, I would like to conclude my topic. It was observed that the varying the amount of resin within the limits has no significant effect on vertical dimension if the powder liquid ratio is not altered. However, it was observed that the trial closure and the bench curing time play a crucial role in affecting the movement of artificial teeth and hence the vertical dimension. Thank you.